The elderly wife accompanied her husband to a big city for medical treatment, but she was unfamiliar with the hospital procedures and was scolded by a nurse. Seeing the embarrassment and helplessness on his wife's face, the husband was heartbroken. Yet this kept happening throughout the day. First, the nurse drove her away because she didn't understand the queue system. Then, when she asked the doctor about what she should be careful about, the doctor impatiently scolded her. The husband finally couldn't take it anymore and lost his temper. Perhaps this was the weakness that came with love. He could endure hardship himself, but he couldn't stand seeing the woman he loved suffer even the slightest humiliation. Fortunately, their daughter arrived in time and helped her mother complete the rest of the procedures. While the mother and daughter were talking, the husband suddenly looked toward the corner. There was an elderly man sitting there alone, his eyes filled with confusion and helplessness. Looking at him, the husband suddenly saw his own wife. He couldn't help wondering, what will happen to her if I'm gone? That night, while he was in the hospital, he specifically asked his daughter to stay behind. He began telling her stories about their family and the years they had spent together. They talked from night until dawn. In the end, the husband asked his daughter to take good care of her mother and never find her annoying. Only then did the daughter realize that her father was saying his final goodbyes. His life had already entered its final countdown. The husband chose to return home to spend his remaining days with his family. Everyone in the house was filled with grief. Only his son refused to look him in the eyes. Instead, he kept talking about the comfortable chair he had prepared for his father. But the next moment, their eyes accidentally met. When the son saw how weak his father had become, he completely broke down. That night, the man comforted his crying wife for the last time. They had been together their entire lives. Whenever his wife cried, he would gently pat her back and comfort her. From their youth to adulthood, and from adulthood into old age, he had always been by her side. But in the end, a miracle never came. The man was taken into intensive care. Standing outside the hospital room, his wife looked at his exhausted face and suddenly realized how much he had aged. Yet in her heart, he was still the young man she had fallen in love with all those years ago. But in the end, he still left this world before her. His love, however, never disappeared. One day, his wife accidentally opened a drawer and found it filled with brand new hair clips. He had hoped these hair clips could keep her company in the years he could no longer be there. He had even repaired the door lock and moved everything in the cabinets down to lower shelves so she could reach them more easily. Perhaps the deepest kind of love is being unable to see someone anymore, yet still wishing that every day of their remaining life will be a good one. Later, their son received a used Mercedes that his father had bought for him. Their daughter also received a bank book. Inside was all the money she had sent home. During her years studying abroad, her father had never spent a single penny of it. He had quietly saved it all for her. Perhaps true love was never about making grand promises. It was about spending a lifetime walking beside someone, and even when you know you're about to leave, still preparing everything you can for the rest of their life.